Good afternoon, everyone. This is All Things Parks here. I'm Andrew with my sister Erica, and we are at Universal Islands of Adventure today outside of Hogshead at Hogsmeade because we've heard that there is a secret menu of beers. So what do you think? Say we should go check it out?
I am ready to check it out. Let's go do this. So before we get started on any of the crazy combos that we're about to throw down, we need to know what our canvas looks like. So I'm starting today off with the Hog's Head. Very good. It is like an amber and it's very crisp. I really enjoy this. Almost like Killian's beer, I would say, but it's very similar to. So the other beer that they have is the Dragon Scale, which is noticeably darker than the first beer, and you have to get this because if you have not seen the tap, it's pretty cool. Looks a lot like the dragon on Green Gods. So let's go in. It is much darker, but it's sweet, so there's a lot of chocolate, more than like coffee, I would say, coming through, but it's a really good like stoutier type beer. No shame. There he goes.
Thanks so much. So Hogshead did not disappoint. There is a secret menu, and we'll link it with this video. So if you want to try any of these different drinks as opposed to just the basic drafts that they have here, I'll go ahead and tell you what they are. So on the left, we have our Black Hog, which is going to be a combination of the Hogshead Brew along with some Guinness. So it's going to be your black and tan. In the middle there, you're going to see the Triple or the Deathly Hallows. And that's going to be a combination of Guinness along with the Hogshead Brew and then some snake bite. So you get that 3-layer. In the middle here, we have the Hog's Bite, and that is going to be your Hogshead Brew along with snake bite, or I'm sorry, along with the cider. So they have Strongbow cider. So again, that's going to be about your snake bite there. Then we are moving on to our Hog's Tea. And with your Hog's Tea, you're going to have, it's pretty much like a Long Island iced tea, but instead of cola, they use just a splash of raspberry tea. And then our last and final drink is going to be the Pear Dazzle. And so it's going to be a combo of vodka, pear cider, lemonade, and then a little bit of maraschino cherry, which I don't see, but that's what generally is in it. So let's go ahead and give these drinks a try. We'll let you know what we think. This is our Hog's Bite, and so again, we are looking at the Hogshead Brew with Strongbow cider. Nice little combination of lager and cider, and it is just a wonderful combination. So refreshing on a hot day. Definitely my favorite of the combos, but there's a lot of drinks here, so you can't go wrong.
Can I just mention I love your shirt?
Oh, thank you. It's vintage. It's from the grand opening.
One of my go-to drinks is a black velvet, which is half cider, half Guinness. Today, I am fighting the dark arts with the Deathly Hallow. They prefer that you ask for the tri-blend, but I asked for the Deathly Hallows and prepared the bartender. They would not like me today. So, it is really good, but basically what we have instead of a black velvet, throw in the Hog's Head, because we're at the Hog's Head, and you have all three. So what it tastes like is very similar to black velvet, but just a little less Guinness, so it's not as dark, and a little bit more on the ratio of getting some more of that cider and sweetness from the Hog's Head. So, cheers! 100 points for Hufflepuff!
So this is our Black Hog, and it's a combination of Guinness and the Boar's Head, or I'm sorry, the Hog's Head. I'm thinking of cured meats here, but it's the Hog's Head. And I thought it was going to be a little bit darker with a little bit more Guinness, but I'm actually kind of glad that it's not, because I'm not a huge Guinness fan. So I'm gonna dive in on this. Oh, that is nice. Like I said, it's not too heavy on the Guinness, but it gives you just enough of that kind of darker flavor, a little bit heavier flavor, and then it combos really nice with the Hogshead. So I actually like this a lot. I'm usually, like I said, not a big Guinness fan, but it's just so subtle that it brings it all together very nicely.
Now, if you are looking for something that is not beer, you can get their version of a Long Island iced tea, which they actually use some Dazzle raspberry iced tea in this. So let's go in. This one is going to have you casting charms and spells. This is really good. It's super refreshing. You definitely get a lot of that raspberry iced tea flavor and a lot of lemon. So, very good.
50 points for Gryffindor!
Another note on the tea is essentially their #1 seller here at Hogshead, which you would not think since they also have a beer called the Hogshead at the Hogshead. But also, this is the strongest drink you can get in the Wizarding World. And if it's a little too strong for you, you can get it in a bigger size and they'll add a little more tea and dilute it, just in case you're not ready to get all wild before you get on Hagrid's.
And the last drink of the evening here at Hogshead is going to be our Pear Dazzle. Look at it. It's like a fizzing whiz-bee of fun in there. So all we're looking at here is going to be vodka, pear cider, and then a splash of lemonade. So it is going to be a little bit more fruity, but it's definitely the lightest option that they have on deck here at Hogshead. So let's give it a shot. That is refreshing. I mean, I think a Hog's Bite is refreshing. This is a definition of refreshing. You get that little bit of sweetness from that splash of lemonade, and then you get the carbonation just a little bit from that pear cider, and the vodka wraps it all together and marries it, and it's just a match made in heaven. Whoever made this in potions class, kudos to them. I bet it was the Half-Blood Prince. So we have finished all of our drinks over at Hogshead, and while we were sitting there, we were reading in the Quibbler that there are actually 2 more options. So you can get fire whiskey, and there's also an Applejack. So we might have to make a comeback and try those out, see how those compare to the 5 that we tried today. But
if we get the time turner, we could just do that now.
We could. We might be back in like at negative 14 minutes. But what was your favorite drink that you had today?
I mean, I'm biased, but the Deathly Hallows was just amazing. I always love that combo of Guinness, cider, and just throwing in the Hogshead. You know, it just saved me from all the dark arts.
That is true, and I think for me, I did enjoy obviously the Hog's Bite because I love a good snake bite. But I think for me, the tea was the way to go. I mean, it was so refreshing. That hint of raspberry at the end was so good, and then it just felt like summer.
Yeah. And it's nice to know that you now have other options at Hogshead, because we did not necessarily know there was more than the beer there because you just see the taps. So now knowing you have some other options, especially on a hot day when you just kind of want a little something more refreshing than a heavy beer, that's the place to be.
Yeah, and it's good too with people in your party that don't like to drink beer. So now you can say, instead of, well, we're just going to go to the pub here, there's a couple other options for them. So it's nice. You can bring everybody together. They don't have to just be sipping on butterbeer while you're enjoying your regular beer. They can get a couple of the cider drinks or the Long Island, which is just always a good thing. Bring everybody together. So
perfect.
Yeah, awesome time in Hogshead. We loved our drinks. Definitely recommend any of them, whatever you're liking. But we will be back soon to try those other 2 out. But until then, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will talk to you all next time.